We are live,
Hey,
homie.
hey, welcome back to another live stream. And if you're watching on the playback, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and also leave your thoughts down in the comments. I am one of your Dukes. I am one of your hosts, Eddie Ed.
Hey, and it's dialogue on the other end, folks. Welcome, welcome,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome, man. Sunday fun day. Now we done postponed some days because of some some rearrangements that we had to make throughout the week. But we're here. We're here with another one. We got Joey Aesthetics or Joey Aesthetics, MTR, Bar, Car. We got Jordan Peterson and Candace Owens talking about Dwayne Wade and them. But Joey Aesthetics, we're gonna hop straight into Joey Aesthetics. Unfortunately, Joey Aesthetics has passed away. Now I don't know too much into the story. This is a new thing that just happened. I think maybe yesterday or so, or maybe even today. I don't know which day it is, but it happened just recently. And there's some information on how he died, maybe some speculation. People don't know the 100% facts this early, but what they're saying is that it might have been a health condition or a sudden health condition, based on maybe some years of you know things leading up to what had happened to produce death. But we're gonna hop straight into it. Yeah, like I told you, D, it's something that they said kind of just happened suddenly, and we're gonna go to a channel,
Hmm.
another channel, Greg, what's his name?
Duchetti?
Greg Duchetti, doggy. Greg Duchetti.
I know that channel.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Hey, this time his voice is not high like it usually is. It's not it's not as high. He's
Yeah.
talking very like what I'm gonna just play it. You're gonna hear his voice. It's definitely different from usual. Like how he's like very especially when he's talking about somebody that's cheating that don't want to act or to say that they're cheating or using.
Yeah, yeah.
He's very like he's talking about like he's always. I think he's from New York. Um, Anyway, let's get this video started and let's dive into what happened to Joey Aesthetic or Joe, whatever his name, Linder. My bad. Let's see what happens.
Let me watch the stream.
All right. Is it all good now?
It is all good in the hood.
All right. Let me know if you can hear it.
And I woke up this morning with the
Are you able to hear it?
It's low. Sounds very low.
Sounds very low, huh? Okay. Let me
Yeah.
let me turn it up real quick. Let me turn it up. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
It up, right? Let me turn it up real one time. Let me turn it up. Dang, it's that.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. If you go in your settings and like do the sound thing and then do
Hold on,
advanced.
let me stop sharing real quick. Dang. Hold on, let me try. Okay, so if I go to settings, you said?
Yeah, if you go to settings and then on the left side you go to system, right?
All right, system. Okay,
And
we
then you
got
go to
system,
sound,
sound,
you go to
mm-hmm.
volume mixer.
Volume mixer.
That should
Okay,
be
let
toward
me
the bottom.
test microphone, advanced options.
Advanced maybe?
Let me see advanced sound. Oh, I don't see volume mixer. Choose output. I see master volume. I see input. I see test microphone, and I see advanced options. Um,
Oh. Yeah, I see
it,
volume mixer under advanced. I see volume mixer on mine.
app volume and device. Okay, I think that might be the one where. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it now. It's okay. It's at 100%.
Oh, for
Yeah,
your
everything's at 100
for your
percent.
browser,
Browser. Let me see.
which
Yeah,
is
Google Chrome.
yeah.
Google Chrome is at 100.
Oh man. That's really
Yeah.
low.
It's super low, huh?
Yeah, it's very low. I guess we'll have to make do. Let me start our
Um, go ahead.
let me start our timer cuz we got 15
Okay.
minutes for this. But yeah, you could go ahead and play it. I guess we just won't talk over it until after it's
Yeah.
done.
All right. Let me go ahead and share it again. I forgot. Oh, freak. All right. Let's hit it.
All right.
Very sad news that Joel Linder had passed away. When I saw the message, I quite literally said, "This is a joke. This can't be happening." I've never met Joe in person, but we've been friends for approximately 3 years, writing back and forth, helping each other with YouTube videos. And seeing as Joe is only 30 years of age, and to see that the guy was in such great shape, he was a gifted athlete his entire life, and he was always striving to be shredded 365 days a year. This guy physique.
Bro, you know what I just thought about real quick. It's just that you know when you flex hard, don't you feel like pressure in your head sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought about that. Like people that be flexing all the time, you building up pressure in your head. But
Mhm.
I'm not gonna give away what he's gonna say. I just wanted to say that because now that I think about it, sometimes when I flex too hard, I be feeling like a blood vessel. You know what I mean? Like it, imploding or not imploding, but swelling. You
Hmm.
know?
Well, I do think there's a way to
Was
flex
remarkable.
without holding your breath.
Breath. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I think, I mean, in order to flex like him, you have to be able to just separate the pressure in your head from how you're flexing your body. There's a way to do it. Maybe he knows it because he would have died 10 years ago if this is how he was flexing with the pressure head thing. Yeah, he would have destroyed himself.
Incredible. He had the dream of becoming an IBB pro. Now, because he's only 30 and he suddenly died, and as I'm recording this, I'm hearing that his girlfriend is saying that it was an aneurysm, and so what that is
You want to read a little bit of it or not?
Let me read it. Let me read it. It said yesterday his passed away by, okay, this is foreign English. All right. I was there with him in the room. He put a necklace in my neck he made for me. What? Then he was just
Hold
laying
on.
down a cuddle, waiting. Okay, so he put a necklace on her and then they cuddled, waiting to
Oh.
go meet Noel at the gym at 4. He was in my arms. Then it's just happening too fast. 3 days ago, he kept said he had pain in his neck. We not really realize it until it's too late. At this moment, I couldn't write anything much. Trust me, this man is more than you ever know. So sweet. He is a believer in everyone. He believer all that stuff. Okay, so he had symptoms of this before he simply passed away while asleep.
Yeah, cause she was saying that he has some pain from something that he did um, previously. So
Oh, is that what she
that
said?
yeah, and like he'll talk more about it, but apparently
Hmm.
that could have been a contributor possibly to what happened, which is the aneurysm.
My oh my.
a weakening of a blood vessel. And so imagine that you have a balloon and there's one spot in the balloon that's a little bit thinner than the rest, and you squeeze on the balloon. That is the most likely spot where something could burst. And so in an aneurysm, this is happening in a blood vessel. Now remember, with higher blood pressure, the risk is a lot greater. Just think of it. That weakened balloon, if there's not a lot of air in it, it's probably not going to bust. But if you keep blowing on the balloon, whatever the spot is the weakest, that is the most likely spot that's eventually going to burst. And so apparently this is what happened. I don't know for sure. And an aneurysm, it can occur throughout the body. It could be somewhere in the heart, it could be in the brain. And so depending on where this occurred and how important that blood vessel is to your survival, well, that's going to dictate the ultimate outcome. She states that 3 days before this happened, he had a pain in his neck, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was from an aneurysm. The pain could be something different. He could have been training at the gym. Last I spoke to Joe, he had been doing some BMX riding and had landed very hard and had felt a little bit of pain in his arm. I can't remember if it was shoulder or bicep. And so we don't know if this neck pain that happened about 3 days before was related to the supposed aneurysm or not. There's going to be a lot of speculation that it had to have something to do with anabolic steroids or performance enhancing drugs. Joel Linder was very open, honest, and transparent and told us everything that he was doing. In his younger days, he did admit that he had been abusing performance-enhancing drugs, mainly steroids, and that this was not healthy for both his body and his mind. In particular, he was very much against the use of tren. He did not think this was a drug that anyone should ever use. Joel did not promote the use of steroids, and in fact, he wanted to help people to understand that you shouldn't be doing these things. Because he had abused it in his past, he had to go on HRT. And so because he had such an incredible physique, many people assumed he's not really just on HRT. There's no way he could have a physique like that. But if you look back at his genetics when he was younger, the amount of muscle that he had, very easy to see that because this guy's genetics were that good, that even with lower doses, he could have a physique like that. More recently, he ended up doing 2 competitions in men's physique trying to earn a pro card. I did in fact help to coach him for this. And so I know exactly what he was taking for these competitions. And many of you are thinking, oh, he probably upped the doses so high.
Hold on, real quick. I just wanted to look at his Dragon Ball Z chest. Look at that separation right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, bro. It is crazy. Let me see if I can find Goku's Goku's chesticles.
Bro, bro, like that chest right there, that is just like, like I
Yes.
told you off.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Like I told you off camera, man, it's like the ones where like cause that's a good. You don't want the chest that's like low heavy. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of gross to me. I don't want that personally to have the low chest. Rather than having the upper pecs developed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look at this guy, man. Look at this guy. Where's your chest at, man? Where's your chest, man?
Are you on the wrong channel then?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Oh, there we go. Some.
Wait. It's down here somewhere. Why? Hold on. Why is he posed with a knife through him?
Oh,
Anyway.
that's the Zamasu, um, Goku.
Oh,
If you watched Dragon Ball Super,
nah.
that's on that one.
Okay. Look at this, man. Look at look at this. This is the same chest, man. See, that's insane. That chest is hard to get. That's basically what we're saying.
That's hard,
As a
bro.
guy,
The
yeah,
striations.
yeah. Anyway, let me stop distracting us.
I'm not gonna lie. At one point in time, now my chest did obviously. I'm not saying my chest got that big, but I'm saying as far as striations, I still have a striated type of chest, but it's like one of them things like if you don't keep on doing it, you could lose the striations as clearly as it can be shown. And but my chest is able to striate like that because I have less body fat, so it's able to you're able to see the cuts very easily.
Yeah.
And that's what caused him to get a heart attack. But I can assure you, he was taking less than what most beginners would take on their very first cycles. And so I'm not going to say exactly what he took. I do believe that's private information. I can tell you, he was not taking very high doses whatsoever. One thing I do know is that Joe Linder struggled to stay that lean all the time. He was constantly battling hunger and was drinking a ton of coffee. I believe he said at one point he was drinking 4 liters a day. And if the coffee had a lot of caffeine, which is a stimulant, this can dramatically
Yeah,
reduce your
bro.
appetite. Now, we all know that the combination of anabolic steroid use and vigorous weightlifting can lead to left ventricular hypertrophy. But we also know that if you take a lot of stimulants, this can place a greater demand on the heart. If you're always amped up from caffeine, which is preventing you from being as hungry, you're taking stims of any kind, even though caffeine is 100% legal, it's still a drug. This combination of factors could have led to potential arrhythmias in the heart. Just think of it. Your heart is changing shape. It's changing sizes. And so the chances of something going wrong, even if it's small, are greatly enhanced. And so if you're thinking, oh, I can take steroids, I'll just use low doses, it won't happen to me. Well, look at Joe Linder, 30 years of age. Guy was a phenomenal athlete. He was doing cardio, eating healthy. The guy was super fit. and yet it happened to him. Also, have you seen how vascular Joe Linder always is? The veins are pushing out through his skin, almost bursting through him. And perhaps, and remember,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not a doctor,
crazy.
but could that have been because his body demanded more blood? That he had to increase the circulation? Did he have an increase in red blood cells? Did he have increased blood plasma volume? Remember, when you take steroids, it can affect your hematocrit. You can get more red blood cells, and the volume of blood underneath it can go up. When you have more blood, in particular more red blood cells, the blood gets thicker. Compare it to being
Thick.
more like molasses as opposed to water. If you
Mm.
have thicker blood, you're more likely to get a heart attack and or a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And with too
Yeah,
many
blood
blood
clots.
steroids, perhaps he could develop athero or arteriosclerosis. And one more thing, Joel Linder, perhaps he's most famous for this. His alien DNA, the fact that he could make his chest muscles dance, all the striations quivering back and forth just by stretching out his chest. When
Y-
that happens, and remember, I'm not a doctor. Could it not be from an electrolyte imbalance? And so perhaps that's a sign that something was going on in his body, that perhaps the electrolytes, they weren't all in balance. I don't
That's a good point, but actually Joe himself explained it, right? And he was talking about basically what is happening or what it feels like is that it's basically his chest is basically cramping, and um, what is happening is that his fibers can't relax as quickly, and so when he does when he opens it, it's is relaxing slowly, and that's why you see it
Ah, makes
moving.
sense. Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, you know. So when he explained to himself, I'm like, oh, okay. So his muscles are a little bit slow to relax, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what's causing the effect of the tensing and then spreading. Because if you think about if something, how hard, like if a balloon was like just being used, it can't stretch uh as fast um and then relax and go back to normal versus one that's already been used and more elastic. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
the electrolytes do have something to do with cramps. So that's a good point too that he just made because maybe it might have been something wrong with his electrolytes. But then Joe did say it's a condition with the muscles that he have.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a condition. So maybe the electrolyte thing might not have been as prominent in the situation. So that's an interesting thing to take a look at
Mm.
uh, in the conversation. But I guess um, this video is mainly we wanted to touch on the part of it of how you don't need to stretch yourself over getting a physique like that. You know what I mean? We're not saying Joey or Joe was stretching himself out to get that, but
Yeah, he
this
was.
Instagram thing, huh?
Yeah, he was. He said he was
No, no,
drinking.
no, not in that way. I'm talking about like, um, at this point in his career, like he wasn't trying to, um, not as far as like what he was eating, what he was doing. That's just on the body. I'm just talking about like he had the physique already, so he wasn't trying to get the physique because he had it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying that there's people out there that's on IG looking at IG models and doing this and that, and beating themselves up because they can't get that type of physique.
Yeah.
And it's no reason to stress yourself out to the point where you start taking stuff that is actually test you know testosterone and all these things that enhance the performance, enhance the body. Like we don't need to get to that point because like this guy was saying, this Joe was healthy, eating healthy, doing this, doing that, but he had the wrong substances inside his body. It disrupted his body's natural, you know, uh, natural habits, natural processes, and things could go wrong when you put stuff that's foreign to the body inside your body to enhance it. A lot of stuff could go wrong even if you're doing all the right things as far as eating and exercising, you know? And that's one of the craziest things. Like he was eating good and exercising good, and it still happened. Like, why do you think it'll end well, getting into that, So we wanted to touch on that side of things. You have any words on that side?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a hard thing to talk about. I mean, these types of people, these uh, bodybuilders, so on and so forth, they push the body to the utmost limit, and a lot of them don't have a long time span,
Mm-hmm.
or their time span even in competitions aren't that long because of what they do to their bodies. So it may not be because of the things that he was taking, um, but I think it's a combination of many things. I don't think you can
Mm-hmm.
pinpoint exactly what it was, but bodybuilders, man, it's a big sport, and the consequences are big. A lot of people in that industry pass away from random stuff, heart issues, brain
Yeah,
issues.
and that's why I say, putting something foreign into your body, that can always happen because your body's like, how do I handle this? And then, when you think about how the body, because usually when the body don't know what something is, it turns it into fat and it's stored it somewhere.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when that happens, what if the thing that's stored as fat is not really, you know, made up of what fat is made up of, but it's mixed. Then that's when the other stuff start. So it's really crazy what the body could do when it's something foreign enters it. That's
Yeah.
not really, it's normal.
Yeah. If you guys know anyone that's close to you that wants to do bodybuilding or is in that industry, just advise them, man. They don't need to be in that industry. It's not an industry that's worth as much damage as it does to your body. I don't know. You may earn a couple $100,000 from doing this, but you can earn a lot more by dedicating yourself to something more productive for your life, man. That's not worth it, bro. Randomly dying like that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what the family is going through. Other organs are affected too, like your lungs. Not your lungs. Well, your lung capacity. I heard that could get shot depending on how much muscle you have on yourself. Your pancreas, your liver, your other organs, man. They
Mm-hmm.
filter a lot of these poisonous things out of your body. So
Yeah.
just be vigilant against this industry. I don't think it's an industry that needs to be around as it is today. Now, if everyone decided to go natural, no stimulants, just straight, eating and working out lifestyle, the industry would look a lot different. It would be a
Yeah, it'd be a lot
lot
healthier.
different.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
will be, people will be able to do multiple competitions. You'll see. Yeah, it'd be a lot better. Um, but yeah, I mean, just really like the pressure that people put on themselves though, that are on social media that want these type of physiques, and they, you know, they're doing all these things, and they're like, man, why can't I get that? You can't get it like that because it's not natural.
Yeah, you don't
You
want
know,
that, man. Trust me.
a lot of it's not natural. Your body, you know, and there's science about how like even having so much muscle like that is not good for your body, and things like that. But I don't want to hop into that side. I just want to stay on like this social media thing of how people put pressure. I mean, ladies put pressure on themselves too with the BBL stuff. This body image thing is real in America. I mean, shoot, now it's spread all over different countries. Now, social
Mm-hmm.
media is global, but
Yeah.
a lot of people, I'm confident in saying that the U.S. is probably bigger in people, probably harming their bodies, you know,
Yeah.
more than versus other countries. I could see that because they think they gotta have it because it's on social media, and that's another thing. Like when people don't have a guide of where to go, it's just like they gonna follow what's popular or where everybody else is going, and you know, it's kind of sad that people don't have guides to help them because left to your own devices, you're gonna follow what you think everybody else likes, and so that you can be a part of something.
Yeah.
So guys, man, just exercise and do it all natural. Don't worry about being that person on Instagram or looking like the person from Instagram. Because a lot of times they're not doing normal things to get what they
Exactly.
got. The ladies are
Exactly.
doing BBLs, ladies, and they doing tummy tuck, whatever it is. People dying from that every day, man, just to look good for the gram, for a picture, somebody to say, yeah, you look good, or she fine, or they even lust after you. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dang, I didn't imagine this dude was drinking coffee a lot
Yeah,
just to have a reduced appetite.
and not eating.
Not
You
eating,
know,
yeah.
and but that's it. That's also an amazing thing though. Like he wasn't eating as much, but he was still jacked. A lot of people think, oh, I gotta be eating, and it's another thing too. The natural people too. Some of them eat too much, and that's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure on your body too, because your body
Yeah.
never gets time to rest and cool down. That's also another stupid thing too, is to not eat so much, because that's why you sleep. You sleep and you're not eating for a reason. Oh, there's one guy, the Chef Rush. Have you seen him?
No.
Let me show you real quick.
We're past
He.
the 15 minutes, by the way. So
Oh, okay.
just a heads up.
Well, real quick. Chef Rush was like, yeah, I eat starting from like 4 o'clock or something like that. Like he eat all day, and he was
Huh?
showing these. Yeah, it was crazy. He basically eat all day, and is always eating. You dying early if you do that.
Wow.
But I don't think he really does that. I think it was just capped for the video.
Hmm.
Um, but he don't really do that for sure, because nobody's surviving
Yeah.
eating all day like that. Like, are you
Yeah.
crazy? Your body never gets full rest. Something's exploding. Something's malfunctioning, bro. Because that's why we go to sleep, so everything could get a rest, and
Hmm.
then you're at a fasted state, so your body digestive system can reboot. Like that's the lyric. Like if you just think about it, if you never knew this, just think about how rest means you're shut down. And if you're eating heavy before you go to sleep, your body got to work still, and you're waking up tired. Then because I don't want to go too deep, but that is basically the idea as well. Like for those people that eat all day and think they gotta eat so much calories, and then not give their body rest.
Yeah.
You gotta think about eating strategically, you know, and not eating so much because you're trying to gain,
Hmm.
you know. But he's gaining. He was jacked and he wasn't eating so much. So
Yeah.
that should give you a quick note there. It matters what you do, and you have to strategize as well.
Hmm. Yep.
That's all I got for that.
Hey, man. You want to move forward?
Yep.
Okay. Next up, we got a video. Was it the Jordan Peterson one I wanted to do next, or the other one? I'm forgetting.
I think it was a Jordan Peterson you named
Jordanson?
first.
Okay, Jordan Peterson. I said
Yeah,
Jordanson. Anyway,
Jordan.
we got a video from Jordan Peterson. And have you ever thought to yourself like, man, I don't like school. Like school isn't for me. I always wondered what people meant when they said like school's not my thing. And
Hmm.
um looking back at it, now I can say that school wasn't my thing. I always talk about this with my wife. Like during high school and college, I would do the mid to low performance of what I needed to pass my classes, because in college, it's in high school especially, and then this understanding went into college. In high school especially, I came to the understanding very early on, like my sophomore year,
Hmm.
that the work they gave us was BS, because what you do is you go to class, you sit there bored listening to this teacher, and then they give you a bunch of stuff to read. You go home, you read the stuff, and then you do the worksheet. You come back. Do you have questions? No. Let's move forward. I was probably the kid that needed extra tutoring just so I could stay on top of school. But anyway, because of that, I was able to do just enough work to pass by. Um, and I was like, dang, like school sucks. And think about it. If you're saying school doesn't suck for me, think about it. When you meet a little kid and they're like 3 or 4 years old, and you're like, wow, you're gonna be going to school until you're 18 years old. That sounds horrible. If that doesn't sound horrible to you, you might not be a human being, and you need to educate us. But
Yeah, if we knew that we're gonna be in this, I mean we knew, but if we just said it out loud, we'd be like, dang, I'm being this long.
18,
Yeah, and even longer.
true.
Even longer, bro. If you're going to university, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be you're going to be there for days.
For up to 23, 24. So you're spending your first man. But anyway, here's a video on Jordan Peterson. He interviewed this man, and they were talking about where the schooling system comes from, and I might go a little bit further into why it is what it is today, and why some people may be struggling. Let's take a listen.
All right.
No one had ever asked them to do an exercise like that. And that, the more I thought about that, the more I was dumbfounded by it. And then I did some investigation into the derivation of the American, North American, European, for that matter, public education system, and found out that it was based on the Prussian model. And the Prussians produced a universal education system in the late 1800s because they were afraid they were losing military superiority, and they wanted to produce a cadre of mindless, obedient soldiers. That was expressly the purpose. And then that model was adopted by prototypical fascists in the US, again in the late 1800s. This is before Mussolini and all of that time. Corporate types mostly, who wanted to produce cadres of obedient workers. And that's why the desks are in rows, and that's why there's factory bells, and that's why it's top-down leadership. But what was really stunning about that wasn't only that that was the model, but it's worse than that, because the people who built the schools were consciously aiming at eradicating the will of the students who were part of the system, because they wanted them to be obedient. Now, we did need, there was a demand for factory workers at the time, and there were a lot of rural people flooding into the cities, and no one really knew what to do with the kids because they didn't have farm work, and there was some need for an education system, and there was some utility in producing people who knew how to abide by a clock and who could therefore take on factory jobs. But that as a model, especially now in the modern world where things change so quickly that you can hardly keep up, and people have to be dynamic, and that sort of 9-to-5 lifetime factory work is maybe, well, it's a dream of the past in some ways, even though it might not have been that desirable to begin with. It certainly has nothing to do with the way people live now. But, well, the education system hasn't changed, except perhaps for the worst, in 150 years.
It's just getting worse.
It's
Oh,
absolutely
it's getting terrible.
jaw-dropping, that the fact that this is all the case. Okay, so you saw in the Acton schools, you saw a completely different model. And walk
Hold on,
us
can we
through that.
pause here?
Like,
Yeah,
I don't
Here,
even
real,
understand.
man. That was a lot.
yeah, and I just want to make a comment, and that's and that from that point alone, because I heard this explained before, but from that alone, does that sound like they want you to be a owner? Does that sound like they want you to, you know, be your own boss? Just asking people out there that, like, if that's what it is, factually, that don't sound nothing like independent or teaching you how to do your own. It's all so you can be in a certain environment and a certain system, and you don't have that ownership. You don't have that capability of building something you're on your own, because it's not built for that. That's all I wanted to say to
Yeah,
insert there.
I agree. I agree. And the thing is, you never stop being your own boss. That's the interesting thing about this. Even if you go to school, you become a doctor and all that stuff, you never stop being your own boss. Where you end up becoming is your own boss, but the idea is you're owned by a bigger boss, right? So, say you're a doctor that works for a hospital, you are still under given those circumstances, you are working for yourself, but you're loaning your services to the hospital. So you could go up to the hospital and be like, hey, because of how my company is running, because of how my company needs to produce a certain lifestyle for myself or whatever I may need, I'm raising my prices from $300,000 a year to $450,000 a year. Are you still willing to keep, because remember, there's a contract between you and the company. The thing is, are you willing to agree to this contract that my company has increased their prices? And they'll be like, are you stupid? You're an employer, like you're an employee for us. We own your work schedule. But people don't think like that. This is exactly what they wanted to produce: workers. you,
Workers, bro.
you go to school, you memorize your information, you learn all of these things,
Memorize.
and then you become a
Yep.
great worker. Great worker. Yep. Go.
Yep. So then
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then your mind, and that's why people have problems thinking outside the box because they just been we've gone to this school where it just you gotta get in line. Literally, like when you're a kid, you gotta get in line. Who's the line leader?
Yeah. Who's
You
leading?
know, get
Yeah.
yeah, get behind the line leader. You know, raise your hand. So you get into this mind of I forgot my point, but basically you get into this mind of being in a certain system, right? You
Yes.
know, go to lunch here, and people can't think outside of having somebody telling them what to do. You
Yes.
know, so then when you get older, you're like, oh man, I need to go to somebody uh, for a job, or I need a job, but it's never, oh, I need to make something. It's never usually, oh, I need to create something of my own. It's
Exactly.
usually what company am I going to work for who's big that can pay me the most, but it's never like how can I put myself to be a big company or to just do something on my own. You don't gotta be
Yeah.
a big company necessarily, but the fact of just trying to do something on your own, it don't usually happen because of where we come from, the school system wise. It's we think like that now, and it's
Yeah.
hard to step outside, and it feel weird, and it feel like oh man, I won't be able to survive because it's just not something that is taught, so you don't know how to do it exactly.
Yep. That's basically what, and the school system has been successful, if I must say, in producing a bunch of workers. I'm one of them.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
we
happy about it.
yeah yeah. Shoot, we're out of the matrix now. We're aware that we're in the matrix, and we're figuring it out. We're, I'm not gonna go to the Andrew Tate thing, but yeah, we're out of the matrix, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. And look, if you hear this information and you're like, well, what am I gonna do? We're not telling you to do anything. All we're doing is giving you information. So, next time you go to work, you understand that when you ask for a raise because you see certain things in your life going away that they're going, and you're like, man, I really need a raise.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you have to understand that you own you, right? Your company doesn't own you. They have hired or contracted your services to work for them. And a lot of companies take advantage of people in that way. They pay them less than they're actually worth, which at the end of the day, you have to understand how the job system is and the hierarchy of everything. But if you're like, I deserve a raise, list out the reasons why you deserve a raise. Go to the company and say, look, I'm raising my prices. And if they're like, no, you're staying exactly where you are, now you understand your worth. You're not owned by them. So if you're gonna go to a company with I want to raise, do your due diligence and find other companies who are
First,
willing to pay you. Yeah, right,
yeah.
who are willing to pay you that amount that you believe you're worth, and then go to your company and then be like, hey, I want higher than what you think you're like. It's a bargain. That's the whole thing about bargaining for your raise. It's because
Yeah.
it's not because, oh, is my company going to be willing to pay me more than they started paying me. No, it's not because of that. It's because you as a person, you are worth a certain amount that the company cannot pay you, because if they did, they would probably go bankrupt, right? So you're working for the company, and because you're under contract, um, they have decided to pay you a certain amount. So bargain away. Go to your manager. Say, hey, I want a raise, and these are the reasons why. Let's out your reasons first, and then go to them. Be confident, and then say, this is why I want a raise. And if they say no, you know that that company is taking advantage of you. If your reasons are well listed, and you can let them know these are the certain values that you've been giving them or will provide them in the future, all of that stuff. We got about
Yeah.
three minutes and 30 seconds left. Do you have anything else to say?
But no, no, we can continue.
Continue.
And what a school day would look like in a decentralized system. I went to London. I saw Kate Birbelsing's school, the Michaela School, and she's taken that teacher dominant, let's say, teacher authority, student listening model to its ultimate degree. I mean, she's very, very good at it. The teachers are handing out information at a rate that's absolutely staggering, and the kids are awake and listening. Although they're responding a lot, they have an opportunity to talk to each other that's structured, and they do a lot of responses to the teachers, so they're really engaged. And I can see that a model like that can work, right? There may be a variety of models that would work for kids, but your model is very different. And so, what would
Oh,
what would a
I
job
just noticed
experience?
how he's
What would a
sitting down.
classroom?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, it's comfortable.
You have classrooms.
Yeah.
What would a classroom look like? What would a typical classroom look like? What's the typical experience of a child in a school like yours?
Yeah, so I think you have to start with understanding the role of the adult in the classroom. And when you understand that in today's age, with what we have, the tools we have available to us and the systems that we use, we do not have a need for an adult to be the transmitter of content knowledge to a child in elementary, middle school, high school. We've proven that. We know that. It's been going on for over a decade. So at our school, young people are broken up into different ages. It's not a monoculture, which that exists nowhere in nature. You don't ever see a buffalo only with like one set of ages roaming the plains. So we have varying studios that somewhat line up with what you say like lower elementary, upper elementary. Some of this comes as well from an understanding of what Maria Montessori has done and did. And a lot of that has withstood the test of time.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. We have about 1 minute and 40 seconds left. But I do want to say that he has a point. When you go out in the wild and you look at animals interacting with each other, you don't see, oh, this buffalo's 3 years old and it's with another buffalo that's 3 years old, right? You see the little buffalo messing with the bigger animals. Like, there's no, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here. And
I mean, no, go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
And how does a child learn to think like an adult if they don't interact with the older kids all the time? You can only, and that's the thing that blew my mind, is they're sticking us in classrooms with everyone who is the same age as us, right? So how do we grow in maturity if we're not thinking like the older kids? I want to, as a 6th grader, I want to be in a classroom with the 10th graders, because first of all, they're cool. Secondly, I'm gonna end up there one day. Thirdly, how are they doing all this super high class work, like super hard? How are they doing? Why are they thinking the way, that kind of stuff?
But didn't we always want to be around the older kids, the big kids, right? Didn't we always want to be apart?
But
why did we always want to
that's the point.
be apart?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then just like just thinking of the movies, and this happened in real life, but they'll be like, nah, get out of here, you too. Go.
You're too young. Yeah.
You're too young, right? So it was always that clash of like, oh, you want to go, but they don't accept you because you're too young.
Yeah.
So, but why? Why did we always have that thing of I want to be with the big kids? There is a reason why. We wanted to learn something.
Exactly.
We wanted to learn something. We wanted to see something. What are they doing over there?
Yeah.
How was that operation going? You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to see that. It was a craving there that I think all of us had in some form or capacity.
Yep, that's right. That's a great point. But if you guys want to finish that video, it's awesome. It's great. It's thought-provoking only because it's different from how our societies is. Man, you got to watch that video too, man. This is the first time I'm showing it to him. I haven't watched it all the way through. It's great though. Go give it a watch.
It's like it's very different. Like it's like, I'm curious. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to hear more.
Yeah, like when you hear how they structure their classrooms, like there's no adult there watching them all the time, bro. There's no adult there watching them all the time.
That's very interesting.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Because one last thing, and then we'll move forward to the next video. Like, if you live in a village and there's no established school system, you guys find a way to survive, right? Don't you? It's like that Joe Rogan video you showed me of that one guy who lived with the African tribe and he couldn't keep
the Asian guy.
Yes, I'm sure within the tribe that was hunting the baboons, they had a different range of children. Maybe you have 15 to 20 or whatever, and the little ones.
They have some young joints in there. Yep.
Exactly. You have the little ones,
young jokers,
from the older ones. Yeah, but now what school is? Hey, come sit down, and I'm gonna spit out all this information at you, and you better understand it, or else your test will tell me that you suck as a person. That's the government standardizing everything to keep everyone at a certain place so that you can stay in line.
Yeah, and so that they can keep track of what? numbers.
Numbers. Exactly.
We're just a number in the system.
Yep.
Other matrix is crazy. Yeah, that's how they track people.
Yep.
You know, we built systems that we can, like factories. Like everybody's going down the line, going. Man, we could go so many levels with this.
It's a
I
great
just
topic, right?
what?
It's
Let's
crazy.
go ahead.
Let's move forward, man. This next video, some people's favorite logic thinking guy, MTR, he put out a video, and there was something that he mentioned that was alarming to me. But you see this all the time. And for someone who prides himself on thinking logically and acting out of stoicism towards situations, I was very surprised that he still hasn't understood this very thing. But let's watch this video. He reacts to a rich woman gets rejected by poor man, right? So
Oh,
you can go watch the video when you have the time, but here it is.
Remember this, girls. None of you can be first, but all of you can be
that's
next.
that's oh Lord, that's Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! That guy is hilarious, bro. You ever
Yeah.
seen the meme of him?
No.
The little what do you call it? The gift where he's like, whoa, it's so funny.
No, I haven't.
But yeah, you can go ahead.
All right.
I just want a normal relationship
He's
where
stupid.
my partner wants to spend time with me when I'm visiting from another country, and we haven't even seen each other for several months, and you're making me feel like I have to beg you to spend time with you. That's up.
Mira, honestamente, yo no estoy pasando tiempo
Oh, shoot.
una persona que me vive tirando muchas cosas en cara. Tu éxito y ese tipo de cosas. A mí no me gusta eso. Honestamente, a mí no me gusta eso.
Huh?
Después que salimos.
What he has on to say?
Nah, it's just I didn't think this was going on here.
Yes.
This is
You know passport bros, right? Passport bros are guys who leave the country to go find wives. outside
Yeah,
the country.
I heard
talked about
that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they look like, but I did hear that.
What they look like? What do you mean?
Yeah, aren't they a channel?
Oh, there might be a YouTube channel named Passport Bros, but Passport Bros are guys that leave the
Oh,
Yeah.
just like okay.
yeah,
Okay, like okay.
yes, and she is a passport sister.
Oh, okay. She's trying to find. Oh, okay.
There, yeah, right.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, she's one of these people. Very successful, medical doctor and attorney. Very successful.
Well, wow, that's a lot of years.
That's a lot, bro. Right? Is she like 60? What are we looking?
Yeah,
at?
like how did she look young too?
Very, yeah.
En Santo Domingo, yo tuve como que si todo estaba bien. Pero después que llegué al hotel,
Pero
no
not.
aguanté y le dije que me iba a ir de ahí.
Yo, no, they are not communicating through Google Translate.
That is
He's a
crazy.
Doctor and attorney. Yo.
All the years you could have learned Spanish.
Marketing over the past several months, but I introduce you guys to the passport hose.
Yo estaba incómodo. Cosas cambiaron. Cuando fuimos donde mi mamá,
That's one of the things where he said that I actually don't understand what he means. If we have passport bros, why can't we have passport sisters? Why does she have to be a passport hoe?
Yeah, like yeah, okay.
Bro, the funny thing about this is you have guys literally going out of the country just to go smash.
Oh yeah, man.
other
We
women.
got Brazil, Argentina,
Yes.
the Philippines. I heard is a big one.
Philippines, yes.
Yeah, but that's where you encounter some Transformers.
And you have this girl standing here trying to work out, not a great relationship, but she's trying to work out the relationship between her and one guy, and you call her a hoe. That doesn't make sense. While you have videos of dudes walking down a sidewalk and a whole bunch of women are yelling at him, "Oh, we love you. Oh, yes. Oh, you black." Like all this stuff, and these guys praise them. "Oh yeah, get your passport, go out the country." And you have a girl standing here with a guy trying to figure things out, and you call her a hoe. Like that's a logical flaw, dude.
Hmm. Yeah.
Rethink the stuff you're saying, man, because you guys don't make sense.
De que el baño esto, que el baño lo otro, el baño sí realmente estaba
And this is just crazy though.
todo el peso de ella ahí, porque siempre te pone por encima de los hermanos. Tú eres un ser humano, igual que todo el mundo.
Oh, her hands.
Yeah.
La persona que yo conocí en ese gimnasio, yo pensé que iba a ser diferente, hasta que se volvió una relación.
That is crazy. What if the phone dies?
Tú tienes que saber que yo soy un hombre y soy adulto.
You're fired, Johnson. What?
Like, what if the phone dies on him and he no more translating?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you haven't come around for all this time because I made you feel like a small man and you didn't have the dignity to come to me like a man
Triggered.
and tell me what the problem was. Instead, you chose to disappear and allow me to waste my money and be by myself.
I swear for God, like these modern women are just morons at this point. Mama, you gonna go to a non-Western culturally country, a place to get a man, and you're gonna bring your westernized, independent, boss B, finger in the face, all this time down there where the men are men?
See, that's another flaw, bro. Has this guy traveled and lived in a foreign country? Some of these men are looking for rich women to hang their hats on. Like, bro, what do you mean? A rich American woman came here and she wants to be with me?
Oh yeah, they gonna cop that. We talking about DR and stuff. You know, like, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, they need the bread.
They need the bread. It's just she must have been treating him so bad that he was just like, I cannot do this no more. Like,
And his reaction right now, he looked like he understand what she's saying.
yeah.
And he's like shaking his head already, and the translating didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Now he understands something. This might just be for ratings, like, cause you, yeah, or maybe he just could see the attitude on her face.
Right. Oh, I think
And
when
all
she
that.
did this whole thing.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like
Oh, Lord.
okay.
Yeah.
What? To have the intellect to become not only a medical doctor, but also an attorney, but also to not have the intellect to become marriageable material in the same vein. Oh, the sickness of the westernized modern woman today runs deep.
Yo soy el hombre en la relación. ¿Tú crees que tú me puedes controlar a mí? No es así.
Can't control them, baby. Your money don't matter.
For the last 6-7 months, you have asked me for money, and I've tried to support you the best way that I can.
Dime qué cantidad de dinero que tengo que devolvértelo y te lo voy a devolver.
Yeah.
Dime cuánto que tú necesitas, que te lo voy a devolver.
If that's what you think this is about, then I think you're still confused on the bigger problem.
Confundida está tu corazón, porque a pesar de que yo
She tried to throw in the money thing there, and when he said, I'll just give it back, oh, if you think it's about the money, then like, oh, the gaslighting.
soy dominicano, tú piensas que yo no puedo conseguir esa cantidad de dinero. Al contrario, el dominicano trabaja muchísimo más pesado que los gringos. ¿Tú no sabías eso?
Okay, I'm gonna just keep playing. I'm just gonna keep it rolling.
What is a gringo?
Tú eres gringa.
Too.
Oh,
It is crazy.
Why did she just? Oh wait. I thought Gringo was a white person, or is it an American person?
I think it's I think it's a cop.
He called
Yeah,
her
I think
a
it's
cop?
yeah, like a undercover cop or something like that.
Nah.
I may be wrong. Let me look it up because I'm actually because
it's a
Gringo
foreign girl or woman.
foreign girl. What really?
Yeah.
Wow.
English or American origin. Okay, so someone who's non-Hispanic, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a movie that was named Gringo, but it had to do with like cops and stuff like that. And anyway,
Okay.
Yet hilarious to continuously watch these modern independent boss bees consistently fail at relationships. She's conventionally attractive with a nice body, but still can't get a man to put a ring on it. Not even in the Dominican Republic.
Not
Newsflash,
even in
Bubba.
Dominica.
Men from all over the world want one general thing: respect. Unless you heal the relationship that you have with men in your life, seek true healing for that damage and that trauma, you'll never be a marriageable material. Because not only do high-value men sniff out daddy issues from a mile away, but so do average earning men.
So much time do we have?
We got about 8 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. I started it
Um,
a couple minutes late. Go
Um,
ahead.
dang, what was I about to say? Oh, it does MTR want to get married?
He's not married, and I think he wants to get married. But see, that's
He
the
wants to
other
get
thing.
married.
He wants to get married, but you know, he always says that he's just waiting to find the right person who fits his standards. You know what? You know what's funny about it? He just traveled
What's that?
recently to England or something, and he talked about smashing some girl.
So he's out here smashing.
Yes, absolutely. He may not be smashing all of them,
But
he's
he out here
actually, yeah,
patty whacking.
yes,
He patty whacking and
yes. For someone who preaches a lot of logic, he sure cannot control his body. He's got a loose body. I can't find the video. This might not have been the video where he spoke about so was that
oh no, I ain't say nothing.
the video that I was trying to find was a video that he said a woman who sleeps with a lot of men, they're
Yeah.
called whores, and a man who sleeps around with a lot of women is not necessarily a whore. And the reason why he can come to that logical conclusion is because apparently men attain their value differently than women.
That just sound like guilty as charged type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna expound on that?
Yeah, just pretty much like, he might be out here, patty whacking a lot. And so
He can't
he don't
include
think of himself. Yeah, he don't think of himself as a one of them because he just getting some patties and he's just doing patty melt things.
So
He
firstly,
melting patties out here, baby.
yeah, he's melting all the patties, man. And he's
Yeah.
not a patty melter. He's just melting patties. So firstly, to call a woman a whore is a moral standing. You're saying she's not meeting the standard of being with one man, therefore she is a whore. If someone could tell me where the moral, logical standing for a man being with multiple women is a good thing, I would applaud
No.
it. I would.
No.
You know the Shia LaBeouf meme gif where he's just clapping in the theater? Yep, I would applaud you.
And I that just people that want to make that argument always go to the Bible one where Solomon,
King David.
that's the go-to, but they a lot of them just don't go deep enough into the study to see that it was actually not the best idea.
Yeah, it was a horrible thing.
Yeah, but since it happened in the Bible and he was blessed by God, then everything he did was good. There's plenty of people that was blessed by God in the Bible that didn't do everything good, and it's plenty of examples that we can go to. But yeah, I mean that just because you can don't mean it's good.
Someone I actually recently spoke to, I'll tell you who it is after we get off the stream, but this person said that Solomon actually having all those wives, bro, Israel
Let me write
was
that down.
okay. Israel was the most powerful nation in the time of Solomon, the most powerful and the wealthiest nation ever. So what happened when Solomon had all these multiple wives? it actually turned the culture upside down. It destroyed them. It actually ended up destroying them physically in war, because God sent them to war to be destroyed because of that, right? That's how Israel got destroyed after the time of Solomon. Him being involved with all of these women actually brought around the degradation of religion. So, the Freemasons, the Egyptian stuff, he married all of these different women, and then over time it morphed into weird and strange religions. Because what happens when you take a godly culture and then you bring in a foreign understanding, it becomes something weird and different, something unrecognizable.
Oh, you know what just hit me too? It's like the cultural stuff is intertwined. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Because just like how the God told him not to do that because they're gonna bring their culture to him. That's a good that note right there could make sense on how they intertwine those two religions basically.
Mm-hmm.
Added some of that stuff from this side and added some of that stuff from that side and made it something else. It makes sense.
It makes sense because
It makes sense.
in a lot of religions, you'll find that they have an understanding of, oh, there's a God, right? But how they think of that God is completely different from the Christian religion. So when someone like MTR says things like calling women who do the same thing as men whores, but don't call them men whores, and saying men aren't whores because we earn our value from working hard, you're taking something as trivial as working hard and slapping it on something as dense as moral understanding, and saying that men and women have different moral understandings. Like we're different. The standard, the point of morality says do not commit sexual adultery. Do not be an adulterer. Don't go around sleeping with people, for both men and women. It doesn't only apply to women. And then a woman does it, she's a whore. And then a man does it, well, he works and his value lies in money, so he's not a whore. Dude, our value lies in moral understandings. Do not be a sinful person. It applies to both men and women. So don't say crap like that. And then these guys are on here listening to him. Oh yeah, his logical understanding is unmatched, all this stuff. Dude, he's just a human being, man. Some of the stuff that he says, I'm just like, do people still listen to this crap? Someone needs to call him out, right? But no one can call him out because everyone is working from the same logical man thinking type thing. Like his sound good, his sounds great. Just like the lawyer, the attorney, the lead attorney, when he says the man has to, the woman has to hit these things for the man to be able to cheat outside the marriage. They have to have kids. Remember that? We went over that video.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy,
With
bro.
yeah, I think he was talking. Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
Something
The
like that.
same spirit of logical thinking. These men think they're so high in how they think that they don't need a good standard. You criticize these women for not being a part of the Judo Christian standards anymore, yet here you are with some foreign thinking that makes no sense to anything. You're a hardworking man, good. That means you're an adult. Stay that way, but don't now attach it to your value compared to a woman. That sounds ridiculous. That sounds so
I'm
stupid.
crazy.
The crazy, man. But anyway, you got something to say before we hop on to the next one?
How much time do we have?
We got 0 seconds, but you can go
All
ahead
right,
and
all
say
right.
it.
We good. We good.
You good? You good? All right. Next video, Candace. Oh, was that you gonna say something?
No. Go ahead.
Candace Owens. Candace
Candace.
Owens talks about Dwayne Wade and his wife about an interview she did. I saw this video just today, so it's still kind of fresh. It's still crazy, but let's take a look at how crazy these two's relationship really is, man. You're gonna be like, wow.
So it's a big question, and I'm wondering just why are people getting married anymore? It seems that we are slowly chipping away at what marriage is supposed to represent as an institution, and people are sort of engaging in these progressive-like marriages. People that get married and say, as just one example, I want to keep my last name. I'm a woman. I've always been known as this. I want to keep my last name. I
Hold
found that to
on.
be weird. I was so
Yeah, yeah,
excited to take.
Yeah, like it was just one guy. Cause I recently saw like a video on it where it was like, yeah, if my if my wife wanted to keep her last name, I'll be okay with it. It doesn't change anything. I guess in regards to the livelihood or the life, like just because it doesn't affect anything physically. He's like, oh, it's okay. I wouldn't mind. And I'm like, what do you? Like, I don't know why people don't mind and why that's not taken more seriously and why that's not even uncomfortable. You know, like just like you're saying, like there are people out here trying to keep their last names, and I'm like, that ain't rocking with me.
Yeah, it's becoming. She'll talk more about it, but I'm with you on that, man. I'm with you.
My husband's last name. Another element of this is we're getting married, but we don't want kids. We don't want kids to disrupt how we live. We love our financial security because we don't have children. We want to be able to travel the world. Okay, typically people think you get married it's because you want to establish your own family, but for some people, it's enough just to have one another. Now we're starting to see this phenomenon of people talking about not wanting to blend their finances, which brings me to the topic of Gabrielle Union and Dwayne
That's
Wade. I
demonic.
don't think anybody would disagree with the statement. They are definitively not in a traditional marriage. They do everything a little bit different. Just a couple of examples here. She did not want to lose her last name, so she hyphenated it. They are raising their son, born Zaire, as a daughter that they are now calling Zaya, despite the fact that Zaya's mother says, no, that's my son, and has been fighting them in court. They're champions.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Okay.
What's crazy?
The son daughter joint. The son that's a daughter, and you know what I mean, and fighting the other parents in court for the name change and all. Like that's just sad, bro.
Yeah, some weird stuff. This is what rich people
That's
do.
weird. Yeah.
No. There's no Joe Schlo working at Walmart gonna take anyone to court because he wants to name his daughter a guy's name. Like,
Nah, he don't got time and money
got
for
time
that.
for that. But these people have time and money for that.
Oh, they got time. They got long bags.
Yep. Look, here's the thing about politics is, and I mentioned this to you last time. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm forgetting. But politics is the practical application of one's moral standing. So when people say, oh, don't bring politics into this, don't bring politics into that, you have to understand that that person is wanting to not step into what drives all human beings, morality. Morality is a big point in why we do the things that we do. So when a politician says something and is like, yeah, but this isn't about religion, this isn't about humanity, this is just what this person wants. This is just, let's keep it at politics. It's like, okay, don't do that, because now what you're trying to do is corner me in this little corner. If I don't understand politics and laws and stuff, that means I don't understand how the government works. No, every decision made in the government has someone who has a certain agenda and who has a certain moral standing, who wants a certain law or policy to be pushed onto everyone else, and it either betters or worsens society.
Yeah.
They did not go the traditional route of having a child. They decided to use surrogacy. So things are very different in this marriage. But then sort of the cherry on top of all of it was this interview where Gabrielle Union sat down with Bloomberg to say that everything in her household is split 50-50. Take a listen.
It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support,
1 second.
we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts this, there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, You better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work.
What?
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about?
What
You
is she-
rich.
Yes.
You ain't living paycheck to paycheck. What does she mean by that?
And her
Somebody
husband,
might not eat.
And her husband is 3 times as rich as her.
What is going on here? I'm confused
You
on
better
even
work.
what she.
Like, are we even living in the same world? You talking about buying some steak? Is that what you're talking about? Someone's
Like,
huh?
What are we talking about here? Work why? And you ain't. What is happening?
I was hoping you would have a good answer for me, but
Nah.
because I don't have a
How?
good answer. I don't know.
How is this even might not eat?
You might not eat, man.
And why wouldn't you? So they buy themselves something to eat. They don't buy. Hey, let's continue this video. This is crazy. It's
hard.
crazy.
It's hard to let that go.
So to be clear, Gabrielle Union is worth about $50 million. It doesn't mean that she doesn't have a ton of people that she needs to take care of. But what is really compelling about this interview and why it went so viral is because her husband, Dwayne Wade, is worth $175 million. So it's bizarre to hear her say that she feels this gorilla on her back because she has to worry about other people that she has to support when her husband is quite literally worth $175 million. People weighed into this on Twitter, said how bizarre it was. This is not how it should be. People are realizing this is not feeling like it's a marriage per se. So somebody questioned Dwayne Wade on the podcast Club Shay Shay about
for
what
real.
had said.
I need to go watch that.
Splitting things.
Yeah, that must have been a strange interview, bro.
Yeah, like what you talk like. Let's go, man.
But the guy that interviews him is like, he's also a part of, the general media. You know what I'm saying? You know who he is,
so
right?
Okay. He definitely got to. He got to watch what he say if you want to be on TV again. Yeah, he got to watch what he say.
He has a net worth of $175 million.
175.
Because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, you will never say that to me again when it's something that we share. And so my wife was like, that when we moved to LA, I got half on it. You will never say my house again.
Wow.
She said, you can say that in the arena. And so in our life, our home, 50-50, we purchased it together.
Right.
Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50-50, we share it together.
Okay, I know that it has become very common for people.
What do you think about his comments there?
Yeah, definitely the mindset is because the mindset isn't a marriage mindset. It sounds like a dating mindset. You know what I mean? Just kind of how we mentioned it before in our past discussions. Is the stage you are when you're dating is different when you get married. When you get married, the roles are those roles, and the stage is that stage. So a lot of things can't be the same and can't translate the same because it's a different arena. You can't go to an elementary game and do the same moves in the NBA. It's a different arena. But we still playing basketball.
Right.
But now we in the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? Dating is like the little leagues. Okay, you get away with some stuff, or do some stuff differently, I should more so say. But it's different rules now. Now you're at a different stage, so the role is different. It just sounds like they playing dating games, and it's not like marriage level, like 50-50. That sound like you scared. That sound like one person's trying to get control more than the other person, but now they want to have an even playing field of control, and so it's just the It's like the way of life is you always gotta fight for your grounds. Kind of like what she said. Oh, somebody might not eat. I don't know if she meant because maybe eventually the money's gonna run out, or the grounds will be taken from her. I don't know, but it don't sound like it's it sounds like there's a fight of power there to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gabrielle, uh, I don't even know what to call her now, but Gabrielle Union, because that's the name that she
Oh
goes
yeah,
by.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Gabrielle Uwade.
Or Gabrielle Union. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, she seems like, I wouldn't even say independent, because we're all adults here. We all make enough to eat normal food. I don't know what kind of food she eats,
I don't know what kind of food, bro.
bro.
She done go
Like,
to a class that 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 is so high.
bro, she eats golden unicorns for breakfast. That's how you know that she's not gonna eat if she doesn't make 5 million that day.
Every day worth of food is somebody's salary for the year.
You daggone straight.
Bro, I heard real quick, and this might have something to do with the situation or may not, but I heard Dwayne Wade. No, uh, Kevin Hart said this in his comedy bit, but basically Dwayne Wade, he was having dinner with him, spent so much money on the dinner, like it was ridiculous, and then was doing it back to back, because the NBA players make mad money
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it
Yep.
was nothing for him because he's gonna make another bag. It's gonna keep coming. It's going so you can imagine,
Absurd, man.
of the money that they probably have to spend just to keep up with the taxes or whatever they need to do. Get rid of the money. So they're just throwing it like, I get out of here. I was gonna
Yeah.
get more. So it's pretty crazy to think about how much they spend. So they probably spend his salaries every day. On
True.
dinners, like a day of dinner could be like, okay, let's get some lunch from Kawan Shioyo, and then go to Leon Corleone's tonight and spend 15 grand on everybody. Everybody come out, let's go.
Wow. And we're over here talking about how Chick-fil-A sandwiches are too expensive now. Freak, man.
Yeah,
They probably wiped their
Spicy
booties
Deluxe.
with those.
that's like they didn't even know that happened. They don't go there.
Yeah, what is Chick-fil-A? Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
you mean the company that I own half of? Like, these people are
Yeah,
wild,
yeah.
man. These people, after some time, they just, like, they lose touch of reality. Talking about who you gonna eat today? What? What are you
Bro.
eating? What are you eating?
Bro.
What are you eating? Thunder and lightning?
I hear yeah.
I forget where I was going with this, but you wanna
Dang.
finish this out?
I was gonna say if I was making this much money, or let's keep it focused on the point at hand.
Okay.
Yeah, what they got going on, I don't think is the healthiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And then some people might say, well, if it works for them, it works for them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how long is that going to work for? It might
Exactly.
work for the beginning, but then, what if one party stopped making money or something? Like, what if something happened and they don't do the same business? Like, eventually the money's going to dwindle out. And it's just about how you guys operate as a unit. Isn't mainly as a unit. It's mainly as individuals trying to work together instead of like husband and wife trying to work together. It's like it's separate already. Like the mindsets are separate. The mindsets don't sound like is oh, let me do half of it, you do the other. Like, what is that? It should be all in or nothing. All or nothing. Ain't no 25-50. It's 100-100.
How do
You gotta be all in. Go.
How do
Yeah.
you think their relationship would be if she made more money than him?
She would be dominant. That's for sure. She would
I-
try to take dominance.
I think she's already kind of dominant.
She is dominant, but since she's not making the bag bigger than him, as far as whatever they said, she has some she feels like she what's the word I'm looking for, or like she knows she can't do all of that, because of just her position naturally. But she is a person that seemed like she's dominant already. So just how she was saying, or how Dwayne Wade was saying, like, oh yeah, you're never gonna say it's mine no more, because she want that power too. She don't want to be dominant, or she don't want to be dominated, or be under. She want to be either equal or more.
Mm-hmm.
Like and she acting equal or more in that aspect. Even, and I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to go over there, but yeah, she wants more of the power for sure.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. We don't know that for sure what goes on behind doors, but how she's talking.
What goes
sounds
on
like
behind doors looks like worse than what goes on outdoors.
exactly.
What is he talking about? You will never say that because we share it. I mean, honestly, I think that was a mistake on his part, right? You don't take sole ownership of something when it is you and your wife.
Yeah, that was his mistake too.
That was
yeah,
his
like,
mistake, right?
and see, that's that communication piece that sound like it's just two individuals not
yeah.
combining mindset. They don't have the same. They're not unified here.
She may not be
know?
the only villain here. Actually, that's a good point. He might be the villain too. They're both villains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how, and because he looked like he meant to say that that is the house I bought. I mean, it makes sense because he's a basketball player. That's how basketball players are. I earn this money, and that's my house. You're living in my house. Like that's that.
Yeah, I put in the work.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's why when Kobe Bryant said he wasn't with me shooting in the gym, I'm like, bro, really? Like, that's your wife, man. Like, why'd you even get married then? What's the point? What's the point of getting married?
What did he say that for?
Because they were going through a divorce, and she wanted, I think, half of his money or something like that, or something along those lines. And he was like, "You're not getting this money because you wasn't with me shooting in the gym." What did you have her as a wife for then? Obviously, it didn't work out because both you and her weren't willing to work it out. It wasn't just one person.
And look, probably that's why you lost her, because you was always shooting in the gym.
Hey man, thank you guys for coming to this podcast. That's it, man.
Yeah, bro. Time is very valuable to just build relationship. You got to spend that time, man.
Yeah.
And just real quick, just thinking about it, like when was he actually spending time if you in the gym all the time? Like, come on, man.
Shoot. Yeah, when he talked about how often he practiced his fundamentals and his skills,
I know
all of the toe curls and stuff. Yeah. What do you even know you have a child?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. This world is crazy. But anyway, any final thoughts? Thoughts?
Definitely value time with loved ones, for sure, because this world makes working sound like you can never stop and take a break. Go hard, play hard all day, every day, nice in the booth. You gotta rest. And you gotta allow your body. Like, this goes back to the first thing. Eating too much just to gain muscle is not the best way. It's not the best strategy. You probably might gain more muscle and keep more muscle by eating strategically and eating less than more. You know what I mean? Getting the best nutrients. And so take time to stop working on stuff as well. And spend time with people that matters and build things other than your career. Because just like that girl from the video, she built her career and now she's looking for a guy, but she never built her relationship abilities. She never worked on herself in that way because she was all focused on career. And see, when you put so much things into career, other areas die. And we gotta we gotta get out of that habit. And so I guess all of our topics connected in some way.
Right.
Now that I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I just brought it back on accident.
Yeah.
That's kind of my final my final thought is take time to rest and put some time into what matters, man, instead of the career, because the career is always going to be there. And that's not the most important thing.
Or could end you.
You can kill yourself. You can kill yourself trying to obtain something that is not as valuable as life.
And it connects to the Jordan Peterson thing too, because we all went to school to become workers. You become so much of a worker that you kill yourself and your relationships. And relationships are the reason why you are where you are. today. No one got to where they are by themselves. Right? That's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah, the Michael Jordans,
Yeah.
all of them had help.
Oh,
And
I'm a solo daytime trader, and I make
everybody
money all
want
by
to talk
myself.
about
No.
doing it themselves, man.
No.
They lying.
You can't. Even if you're a trader that made it by yourself, quote unquote, whose software did you use? Who created that software? We all have to
Exactly.
depend on ourselves.
Yeah, you read something, you did something. You got information from somewhere.
There you go.
Stop lying, bro.
There you go, man.
They see that, and that's why people try to do these come up stories by themselves. Yeah, I got through the mud, Come on, man. This is fake. This is fake news, bro. Stop playing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, all of our stuff connected today. And appreciate you guys for sticking around if you stuck around this long. But we're gonna chop this up eventually, maybe in 2-3 years when we get the time. We're gonna chop this up and we're gonna put it on YouTube for you guys.
Hey, yo, we still didn't drop 19 yet.
Hey man, relax, man. What's 19, man?
We exposing ourselves, huh?
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do, man. We're trying to be accountable a little bit, but not really, but a little bit. So yeah, all this stuff, man. Always focus on your relationships, man. Don't ever say because of relationships I'm gonna stay poor. But while you're working for your money, make sure you're understanding your relationships. The people who can't get married, who are having a hard time getting married, who cannot figure out how to court or date properly, all of these people have invested so much time into other things that they simply do not know how to invest in a relationship properly. Because they spend too much time in school, too much time working, too much time focusing on building themselves that they don't understand how to build up others. Right? So that's
they think,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me just stop it right there. We can keep on going.
We can keep on going. So without further ado,
hold on. But I do got one thing.
Yeah.
What you eating over there?
Potato chips.
Oh, potato chips. Oh, okay. Is that all you got on that plate?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Just
That's
checking.
what's in there.
All right.
What, man? I don't
like you was having some fun size.
No.
Some fun size nuts over there.
You know what? You know who puts slices of hot dogs in their chips?
Who do that?
Who else? Who else does that?
Who?
You.
I'm asking.
You, man. Who that? This dude will cut slices of hot dogs onto his chips. And like he'll take a chip and like scoop up a slice of hot dog and be like, yum, and eat
That's
it.
Definitely fibs.
That's nasty.
He throwing up fibs out there,
That's
guys.
disgusting, man. And he'll sprinkle his little sea salt on there. Salty hot dogs. Nasty, man. It's freaking disgusting, man. That's nasty.
Hey, we know he got some fun size nuts on the side.
Fun size nuts. What the heck is even? Size. What is even that, man? What is even fun size?
We know he like his fun size, cuz. Hey, man.
You're nasty, man.
Hey.
Repent. Shame.
Hey, listen, you got him. You got him, dog. All yours.
We don't have nuts in this house, man. We don't have nuts in this house.
Yeah, because you got to reorder them. You got to restock. you got to.
Look at him. Look, how will you drink that water again?
Huh? What's up, cuz?
Drink it again?
I mean, you're right there with it. You right there.
You got that strong grip, man.
Shoot. Let's close it out for the people out here.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us today. Appreciate it. Comment, send us your videos that you would want us to react to. We'll react to them. We'll have fun doing it. Entertain you while we do it. Drop some big dookie gems while we do it. We're here for it. So join us in our next live stream. Hopefully it'll be this week. But if not, I don't know, man. We might drop a couple videos for you guys.
Let's
not
look
make
out
any
for
promises.
the content later in the week.
That's the worst announcement ever. Yeah, just watch out for our content. It'll
turn on post notifications so you know when we go live.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, do that. That's gonna help. For sure.
All right, y'all. We're out of here. Peace.